Oh, yes, baby, let's go! The Vancouver Canucks have done it again! First overall in the National Hockey League, a stellar overtime victory against a Pittsburgh Penguins team that has been hot, that has been getting back up there. They've been heating up, and man, you really saw that here tonight. Now, I apologize, first and foremost, if you hear any noises in the background of this audio commentary. I'm sure if you're here on the West Coast, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's snowing like crazy here, dude. The Arctic winds are coming down. It's cold. It's very not pleasant, and a lot of people are shoveling and doing stuff outside. So if you hear any machinery, my bad. I can't control that. It's out of my hands. But what is in my hands is talking about this Vancouver Canucks team in this game against the Pens. Now, before we dive into the game itself, let's go over the status of the league. With this victory, the Vancouver Canucks are the first overall team in the NHL. Once again, they've got 59 points in 42 games. Winnipeg has 58 points in 40 games. Now, the Jets, at the time of recording this audio, are playing right now. They're playing off against the Hawks. They're currently losing, so if the Jets end up losing, then great. I mean, it's good for the Canucks because, yeah, you know, self-explanatory there. Canucks, however, are not first overall in points percentage. That honor still belongs to Winnipeg, and I think if the Winnipeg Jets lose tonight, in regulation, let's assume 58 divided by 41 multiplied by 2, yeah, the Jets would still be first in winning percentage, or points percentage, excuse me, if they lose tonight's game in regulation, so that's fine, it doesn't really matter. Let's just talk about what the Canucks end up accomplishing with this game, though, because you had yourselves a 4-3 victory to seal the deal in overtime, and when it comes to the Canucks, you had a 4-point game out of Elias Pettersson, a 3-point game out of JT Miller, and a 2-point game out of Brock Boeser. The lotto line striking once again, and if you go over to the NHL and their point production race, because of this, Elias Pettersson is now up there with 57 points on the year. JT Miller has 58 points. Miller actually goes out there and leapfrogs Panarin and Pastrnak, I'm pretty sure. This graphic is not updated, but Pettersson with the 4 points is at 57. Miller has 58. That's awesome. You have Brock Boeser, who got 2 goals in this game, so he's up to 27th in the NHL. Based off of this graphic, he would be by himself 4th overall. But, of course, there are games being played at the time of recording this audio. Things can change within the next minute, so don't take this as a full-fledged fact. Wait until later tonight, and then we can look at the stats once more. But Boeser continues his reign as one of the top goal scorers in the NHL. He's back into the top 5. Pettersson and Miller are back into the top 5 themselves for points because of tonight's game. And assuming that none of the Panarin, Nylander, or Pasternaks were able to score points tonight, the Bruins do have a game against Vegas later too at 7 p.m. Assuming nothing else changes, Miller will actually be 3rd in NHL points, so that's great. However, that's not all, because we had ourselves an amazing game between Vancouver and Pittsburgh, where you just saw so many MVPs going out there and doing their thing. The Penguins, man, this is a good team. Like, I know everybody likes to harp on the Penguins because of their aging core, because they're still trying to go for it. Oh, they could trade Gensel. Oh, they should have traded Crosby, whatever. You've got these 4 guys, Crosby, Malkin, Letang, and Carlsson, who are all dinosaurs at this point, still chugging along, still winning games, and still inspiring hope amongst the Penguins community. And you have goaltenders like Tristan Jarry going out there and just shutting the door on the Vancouver Canucks. He didn't even play the entire game here. He was called in on relief at the start of the second. The game was started by Alex Nedeljkovic and Thatcher Demko, but Nedeljkovic got pulled after allowing 3 goals on 9 shots against in the first period. It was not really the best period himself, but I will say that all of the Canucks goals were very skilled, lots of cross creases, tip-ins in front, and deflections, so not really the goalie's fault, but you want to get that shake-up in there just to inspire more confidence from your team. And Tristan Jarry came in here, had a .950 save percentage, made 19 saves on 20 shots against. The only one he couldn't stop was the Elias Pettersson overtime winner. And on the way there, Jarry just made some fantastic stops. Like, this guy is a stud. I'm a full believer in Tristan Jarry now. And on the other side, you've got Thatcher Demko, 914 save percentage in this game, 35 shots against and 32 saves. Some of the stops that Demko was able to make, my goodness, these were robbery stops right here. He's able to outstretch the leg to wrap around against Crosby and his forehand. You've got some amazing saves where they're coming in and Demko just completely shuts the door. He played out of his mind tonight. And the goals that went in, sure, you could say that one of them, the Sidney Crosby, the first goal, probably wasn't one you would want to see go in 10 out of 10 times, but a lot of these other plays, I mean, what can you do? Tip-ins in front, deflections off of legs. This was a good game for the goaltenders, despite the fact that there were 7 goals scored. So let's go out there and talk about each of these goals and talk about a few of the other things that went on in this game as well. The Lotto line cashes in nice and early, 5 minutes into the game, off of a really great breakout by this team. Just 3 magnificent stretch passes. Boeser goes across to Pettersson. Pettersson slows down as he stops up inside the Penguin zone. He waits, he drags, and then he throws it over to the back door where Brock Boeser is there to deflect it in. Just a pristine passing play by Vancouver. Boeser on his 26th on the year, assisted by Petey and Miller. The Canucks, just a minute later, find themselves on the power play, and this is where Brock Boeser strikes again. They take the break in. Pettersson gets the puck at the left point. He goes over to Hughes. Hughes goes back over to Petey, into the middle for Miller, who comes in, takes the shot, and it's tipped by Brock. 2-0 Vancouver, 26th and 27th goals of the year scored by Brock, again assisted by Miller and Petey, this time on the power play. But then you have yourselves a goal scored about 10 minutes later by Marcus Pettersson, the other Pettersson in this game. The Penguins capitalize on the Canucks fumbling of the puck in their own zone. They try to kind of get it out, but they can't. And eventually it's Marcus Pettersson who just kind of drives it towards the goal. It beats everybody, and it's 2-1 for Vancouver. Penguins within 1 with 3 minutes to go in the first. But the Canucks get the last laugh in this period as Elias Pettersson responds right after. 2 straight goals from players with the name of Pettersson as JT Miller plays the puck back from behind the net over to the point for Filip Hronek. He comes in, he takes the shot, and it's tipped by Nedeljkovic by EP40. Pettersson's 21st goal on the season, and that is his 3rd point of the period along with JT Miller's. The second period comes along, and this is where things get crazy because you have Nedeljkovic no longer in the game. Jarry came in here, and this is where Vancouver really started putting it on, but Jarry was equal to the task. My gosh, the saves this guy was making. But then you have yourselves the only goal scored in the second period. It's Sidney Crosby by himself, just coming right down the wing, and he takes a shot. It beats Thatcher Demko. Definitely not the dirtiest goal. It was really clean, actually, and it's so clean that you probably don't want Thatcher Demko to be giving up those kinds of goals, you know, just regular old shots on the rush. But if there's anybody that's going to give him up to, hey, I guess Sidney Crosby is an okay player to do so. In the third, we had ourselves some shenanigans, some conflicts, a few fights, a few penalties. Neither team was able to capitalize on their man advantages, though, in the third period. But the only goal that's scored comes at the very end. It's Sidney Crosby once again. Erik Karlsson, goaltender, is pulled, takes the long shot, and it goes off of a few things, and then it bounces off of Sidney Crosby's leg and right by Thatcher Demko. That's 29 seconds left in the third period to tie the game up 3-3, and we are going to overtime. In OT, it was a pretty good one, honestly. Back and forth chances for both squads, just kind of building off of the momentum, seeing some rushes either way. Eventually, though, an Erik Karlsson shot resulted in a big rebound that the Canucks were able to capitalize on. Filip Hronek plays the puck up to Pettersson, who finds himself on a breakaway, and he dangles right through, goes backhand, forehand, and then shoots it through the 5-hole of Jarry to win the game 4-3. Pettersson with his 22nd goal of the year, that's his 4th point on the night, propelling him back to top 5 status in the NHL in points. Quinn Hughes didn't get a point in this one, but he kind of got like the tertiary assist on the Brock Boeser goal, the second one that is, on the power play, so I'll give Quinn Hughes the pass there. But at the end of the day, the Vancouver Canucks just win a barn burner here against a Penguins team that has been so tough to play against, especially when they get going. They've got wheels, man. Vancouver is first in the NHL once again. Pettersson and Miller, my gosh, they're back up there in points, and you've got Brock Boeser getting more goals on the board. The rest of the team played pretty well, too. Like, honestly, no complaints out of the rest of this roster. They played hard, they battled, they won a lot of battles, and it was just a good showcase. Very good hockey game, all things considered. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about the Vancouver Canucks winning as well as propelling themselves in the standings. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.